Good evening, everyone. Today I will be bringing you guys a story from Eric Mendoza. The story is about when I ran for city council. I think this was my second term of me running. So I'm gonna just tell you guys a story. This story is right after William Criswell. If y'all know, he was my campaign manager after he passed away. I was kind of in the limbo of running again, and I felt because of him, I felt like I should run one more time. So this story is about just to touch on the topic a little bit because it's been asked a lot of times what happened. It's what happened during that run because I was in a good position of actually winning this election. So I will talk about it just a little bit. I'm not gonna get into full details. I'm gonna just tell you guys the story. I'm gonna leave later for a little bit later on down the line. So right now we are in the Sam Abbott building. This is the municipal building, and it's where the voting and everything takes place at. So this room right here, the Azalea room, is where you will come and place your votes at. So this will be filled, just giving you guys a feeling of what goes on. So you will come in here. So the thing was, I end up dropping out of the race. Not gonna get into full details. I will leave that for later on down the line, why I end up dropping out of this race. So, but I still eventually came and placed my vote because I was still supporting the mayor, who was a candidate who was running for mayor at the time. But I was also told, so as you come in, just like how it is here, you will pick up your ballot here. A lady would give it to you, turn around, all the booths was here. So when I grabbed my paper, I walked over here in the corner. It was one all the way back here. I came to the booth that was all the way over here. I sat here. And so while I'm sitting there, the lady who was actually walking around to make sure, you okay? She came over there, she leaned over the booth and she's like, you okay? I said, yes, I'm fine. I know who she is. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm not gonna say who she was or who, but she saw like I checked off the mayor, and actually she's looking at my ballot, which she's not supposed to at all. That's why they got the booth. She's not even supposed to look over to see who I'm checking. And she was like, what ward you in? I said, I'm in Ward 4. And she said, oh, the other candidate is not even running anymore. He dropped out of the race. Just go ahead and check the other person name off, the person who I was running against. So then I snap out of it because now I was still thinking like my name is at this lady telling me who to circle in for, and she not knowing I'm actually am Eric Mendoza. So then I'm like, oh, so you telling me who to pick? She's like, no, I'm not telling you who to pick. I'm just letting you know. The other guy, he dropped out. I don't know what situation he had, but don't worry about him. That's exactly what she said, y'all. Don't worry about him. Just so while she was looking, I marked my name. And she's like, but I told you he's not in the race. So I got up, said, excuse me. And she like, follow me. So now this how this election was. This election, this the first time like the city of Takoma Park did like their own little ballot counting situation. Prior to that, it's outside, but it was because it was COVID. But this time it was in here, so I would walk up to the table, and you would give it back to the lady. It was set up just like this. I handed her my ticket. She says, Eric Mendoza, oh my gosh, I can't believe you dropped out of the race. So while she's saying that, the lady who told me who to pick, she's standing like right here, y'all. Like no lie, right here. And her facial expression just dropped. Like she was just in shock. Just like in, she couldn't believe that I was Eric Mendoza. Like she didn't believe it at all. So I said, yeah, you know. So I went back, started talking to the lady who I gave the ticket to. She was the city clerk. We had a good relationship. I said, yeah, you know, situation happened. I had to drop out. I said, I'll explain. I'll talk about it later. So I looked at the lady. I was like, thank you. So I ended up walking out. I walked back out, and I got like right here, and the lady tapped me, and I turned around, and she was like, please don't say anything. Please don't mention this to anybody. So we kind of came over here a little bit, and you know, I kind of told her how I felt about what she did. You know, she could have gotten in trouble for that. You know, she really could have gotten in trouble for what she did. But it also made me think, like, how many other people do they actually tell, like prior to that when I actually ran for office? Like, how many people did they actually tell, don't even vote for him, vote for, you know, it had me thinking a lot. So she apologized and she went back in there. So remind you guys, this year for election, so let me just finish the story before I get in that. So when I'm standing here, so this whole part right here is full with people. It's people who supported me, older people, younger people. This is the first time they're actually seeing me. And then it's like news, like this election was really big in Takoma Park, one of the biggest ones. And I had people just coming up to me, it's like, we was coming to vote for you. Like as soon as I came home from voting, that lady talked to me, like I was just swarmed with people. Then I had the news people come up to me, asking me questions. And I was just like, you know, they not knowing what just happened to me inside. Like I clearly had a platform right there to express what just happened, you know, but I didn't do that at all. And I think to this day, that lady, she appreciate, like we have a good connection now. Now I'm pretty sure when she hears my name, she probably, so while they all just rushing me, I feel somebody pulling on me, and it's Daniel Cone. May she rest in peace. She ended up dying of cancer. She also did a lot for the youth, and in Takoma Park, and she was part of the council, and she brought a lot of energy to the council. Her brother actually work here now, and I talk to her brother all the time. So she pulls me. We walk out. We walk out from back here where everybody was at, and we end up walking. And back then it was like a bench here. I will put the picture up in the link. It was like a bench. So it was like a bench here, and we sat right here. And if you see the article, it says I felt like my mom was talking to me because she sat here and she told me that, you know, don't make nobody ever, you know, force you to do something that you don't want to do, because she knew the situation and what happened and why I had to drop out. And she just gave it to me, y'all. Just gave me like a nice, you know, and that's the first time she really, really like talked to me. And that was the last time I actually seen her. So may she rest in peace. So then I just remember like just coming back through here, started talking to everybody and saying sorry and apologizing and for not continuing, for the happen to drop out. And that was the main question everybody kept asking me, like, why did you drop out? What was the reason for you dropping out? But I couldn't explain the situation because it wasn't there for me to explain. And I just came and I stood here and I just remember watching and looking at everybody. So then I ended up going into the auditorium, and the auditorium was already, everybody was already out of the auditorium. So when it all started, like they were going in and talking. Everybody left at the time. And I sat in the auditorium. I remember the only one in there just sat for hours, y'all. I sat for hours until I was just the person, the cleaning guy came in there and sat next to me, just talked to me, and and I remember just looking up on the stage in the auditorium, and just looking at everybody's name like Ward and Mayor. And so there you have it, you guys. That was a story of 1 year of me running for office. And like I say, this year it was promised for me to win. It was the 16 to vote. Felonies was able to vote. It played a big favor. In my part, because previous of me running, I couldn't get the younger kids to come out, and that was my whole point of me. I had the younger generation, but I just couldn't get them to come out, or they didn't just want to come in this building because of the police station downstairs, or it was just a whole lot. So the guy I was going against, he actually had the older people that was able to come out and vote, that was registered to vote. That was a whole nother situation. So this year was definitely promised for me. And some of my friends can tell you, like, during that whole process of me running, we would have meetings in the auditorium. I would leave out of here, and they would tell you some of the situations that I had to go through and that I did go through. I'm not gonna get in, like I said, I'm not gonna get into details. I'm not gonna get into details why I dropped out. Some of the incidents that happened to me in front of people. But it's real though, man. It's definitely that year. I guess I was a threat on winning, so that year definitely was a real wake up call of being in politics. Like I say, in the future I would definitely tell my story